You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna learn about the Boston Tea Party today. Has anyone heard of it before? Can you raise your hand? Okay. So can someone tell me about it if they know anything? Go ahead. No? Alright, go ahead. Yes, a bunch of tea. Does anybody know whose tea it was? The British tea, yep, and it was in America, in the Boston Harbor. Anybody got anything else? Go ahead.
The Sons of Liberty and other people, they boarded, looking like Indians, they boarded the ship and then started throwing tea into the water.
Yeah?
It was in Boston.
Yes, in the Boston Harbor, like he said. Alright, so we're gonna go over a few things. So the tea was like something that America like really liked. Let's think of like a drink that you guys really like. I feel like chocolate milk, Mountain Dew, apple juice. Okay, so imagine like you really like these drinks, but then your parents have now like charged you extra to get it, and you gotta pay extra, you gotta do extra chores. So you're really upset. So that's like what the tea is, and that's why they got so upset, because it got taxed and they had to pay more for it. The Boston is like who it was, like we said, in the Boston Harbor, so that's why it's called the Boston Tea Party. And then party is like a group of people. So like the people that he was talking about where they like dumped it into the water, they're a group of people. And they all got together and they were all upset about it. So we're gonna talk about what happened in that story, and then we're gonna get to do a really fun activity. So first I'm gonna start by showing you a quick little video about it, and then we're gonna read an article. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So, can anyone tell me why did they put the T into the harbor? After watching the video, can any of you guys figure it out?
Because the king stole, King III, he stole their money, and then they got really mad and decided to do that.
Yes. So he stole all their money by taxing their favorite things, or taxing, and it said in the video, they were taxing without reparation. So they were taxing without having a reason to. So the king was kind of doing it so he could keep controlling them, because America kind of wanted to go on their own, but the mom, or Britain, the king was like, no, I still want control of you. So he was trying to, by making them pay more, he was going to control them. So we're going to read a quick article. I'm going to pass it around. Give everybody one. So we're going to all take turns reading. We're going to do like popcorn. You guys, is that good? Okay.
I like popcorn.
Me too. Well, then you don't have to. We're going to take turns, okay? Everybody got an article?
No. It's still going on.
Okay. And while we're doing this, feel free to use your pencils and underline any words, or if there's like dates or years or anything, because we're going to have questions at the end. So if we can make sure we're looking for important things as we read it, okay? And then we're going to work on the worksheet. What was that?
Can I have my name on it?
Yeah, go ahead. You can write your name. Are we all ready? Do you need a pencil box? Alright. So I'll read the first sentence and then we're going to popcorn around. So then you can raise your hand, and after I pick you, you can pick the next person when you're done reading. Alright. So, the Boston Tea Party. It was another cold December night in Boston. The Dartmouth, the Eleanor, and the Beaver were sitting in the Boston harbor. Their holds full of tea that wasn't being unloaded because the angry residents of Boston were threatened not to buy or use the tea.
The anger was directed at the government of Great Britain, which at the time had passed the Tea Act. This was a law that almost guaranteed that the American colonists would buy tea from the East India Company. Why? Because the law lowered the price on tea from the East Indian Company so much that it wasn't the cheapest tea around. Most American colonists looked for ways to cut costs and save money, but choose a cheaper tea over more expensive tea anything. As you might suspect, other tea companies weren't happy about that tea act.
Alright, popcorn. Pick a friend.
Okay. American colonists viewed it as another example of taxation without representation.
Yep.
It was unusual for
Parliament.
which was thousands of miles away, to vote to add another tax to the colonists. The colonists had no way to do anything about it, and they were angry. They wanted to do something to let the British know about their unhappiness. Some people wanted to
Wanted to be non-violent.
Oh, yeah. Others wanted bloodshed. The result was somewhere in the middle.
Alright, popcorn.
Oh, okay. Did you end with middle?
So a group of
Okay. A group of colonists determined to make things change was the Sons of Liberty. That they decided to do something that would let the British know how they felt.
Alright, popcorn. You pick a friend.
Doug.
Yep.
On December 16, 1773, Justin discussed disguises that made them look like Native Americans. A large group of Sons of Liberty formed aboard 3 unsuspecting British ships. They were armed with axes. They about 92,000 pounds of tea. In today's money, it would be worth about 1,700,000. It cost the tea company a lot of money.
It was a lot of money. All right, popcorn. Got one friend behind you has his phone.
Since they were in disguise, they could claim they had nothing to do with it. The British government knew better and grew angry and what it saw as Americans disguise.
All right, good work, guys. Thank you for everybody who read. All right, we're going to do this worksheet now. You can have a partner and work on it if you'd like, and then we'll go through it all together. So it should be all in your article. Find it all.
Wait, are we supposed to start?
Yeah, go ahead. We'll work with a buddy if you want. Just do it for a couple minutes. It shouldn't take too long. All right, so we're sitting in the Boston Harbor. So what would be like sitting in the Boston Harbor? Some ships. So it doesn't say ships, but those are the three different ones. Yes. So the one, underline, or the, no. So, right here it says on December 16th, what happened? So, the Americans, what did they do? Their tea at work. And then what did they do once they dressed up?
We're still on video.
So they boarded the ship and tossed the tea. That's, so you just kind of, it's like a summary. They had interesting names. How's it going, guys? Stuck? Where the sun. So look at where the sun. So a group is called was determined to make a change. So who were like? Were they? Yes, they were colonists. Yes, perfect. Yes, you're right with the people that were in there, but like as a summary, what kind of people were in there?
Wasting tea
So you
and tea
stop?
expensive is like the same thing. And make sure you don't lose this I just like to sleep. Okay.
Yep. So they were these American. What's up? So, yeah, that's right. So it's not, yeah, there's like certain people, but in the article it just says like the colonists, yep.
Describe the event that happened on the night of December 16th, 17th.
So, yep, question 4 is like a summary, so what happened that night? If you had to put it in a sentence.
I think we got it from there. 17th. Wait, no.
Oh, I wrote it down wrong, sorry. It's the same one, yeah. You got it all? Alright, we'll go through it as a group. Everybody looks like they got one more question. And they don't. Oh, no. So the Americans dressed up. Some Native Americans, so they disguised themselves. So the colonists disguised themselves as Native Americans. Because at the end of the story it says, They couldn't claim they had done nothing to do with it because they were dressed up as the Americans. So the colonists, yeah. How's it going, guys? The last one?
Okay.
One more, okay. I'll give you guys one more minute, we're just finishing up.
A lot of money.
Yes.
For the last question, what damage was done during the Boston Tea Party? What if they wasted a lot of money?
Yeah, so they dumped all that tea, which, yeah, wasted all the money.
That was fun. I put they
See, they damaged the tea because once it's in the water, can you use it now? Alright guys, you all ready? Can we all face the front together? One more?
Yeah, we have one more. We have 5 left.
That's right, you have to take your time. No. Why? That's how much it would cost. Oh, this is nice.
Alright, we're gonna go through it all together. We'll answer your last question together. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
You're stuck? Okay.
Yes, because you got a different answer than us.
Okay.
We don't know. We got 1,700,000.
We'll see what everybody else says. Are you ready?
What?
Okay, so what were the 3 British ships sitting in the Boston Harbor?
Dartmouth, the Eleanor, and the Theodore.
Yep, so that's in the second sentence of the article. So there's those 3 different ships full of tea. Alright, so what did the Tea Act, or why did the Tea Act anger the colonists? Let's see.
They made their tea more expensive.
Yes, so they taxed, but how did they make it more expensive?
They were wasting tea, right?
Okay.
Because they were wasting tea.
So
They made their
they did end up wasting it, like at the end to try to show them why they were mad about it going up, but how did they make it the tea more expensive?
because they made them pay a lot, like a lot of money.
Yeah,
They raised
that's right too.
taxation. Parliament charged
The tea tax, yep. So by adding taxes, like if you go to the grocery store, say for like, you go to the Dollar Tree and you buy a $1 item and they say it's just $1. But when you go check out, it'll say $1.06, because they put taxes on certain things. So just like that, that's what they did to their tea, but they like, instead of like just 6 cents for every $1, they did like a lot more, made it a lot more expensive. So, who were the Sons of Liberty?
The colonists that wanted to change, that wanted it fair.
Mm-hmm, yep. So at the beginning when we talked about the party were the Sons of Liberty, the group that was all together who went and dumped the tea. They were Americans? Yep, they're Americans too. Colonists, Americans. Alright, so number 4. Describe the events that happened on the night of December 16th, and I wrote the date, year wrong, but 1773. Yep. Go ahead, bud.
Sons of Liberty dumped tea into the Boston Tea Party.
Yes.
I wrote they dumped tea.
Yep, they dumped tea. Go ahead.
I wrote that the colonists dressed up as the Native Americans.
Yeah, that's an extra important fact. Did you hear that? So they dressed up as Native Americans and then they went and dumped the tea.
Oh.
They dressed up so they couldn't get caught for it at the end. And at the end of our article, it talks about since they were in disguise, they could claim they had nothing to do with it. So they weren't part of it then. All right. So the last question is, what damage was done during the Boston Tea Party?
The tea was gone.
Gone? Go ahead.
They dumped $1,700,000 in tea, so they
Yes.
just wasted.
Correct. So they wasted the tea. Yes, it was like a $1,700,000, but they basically wasted the tea. Go ahead.
The tea got damaged because once it is
Right, so those tea bags, once they're in the water, you can't use them again, right? The flavor comes out of the tea and then it's all gone.
I feel like it costs the British a lot of money.
Yeah, it costs the British a lot of money, and that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to get back at the British company for making them pay more and making them go out $1 million. Alright, so good work. Now what we are going to do is we are actually going to do an activity. So we were talking about the tea and how when it gets in the water it goes bad. So earlier when we were talking about our favorite drinks like apple juice or something like that, orange juice. So in the how do they keep those from like going bad? Like what containers do they go in? Go ahead. Yep, in bottles or airtight containers. So, yep. Cans.
Put them in a
Refrigerator, that keeps them good. So for the tea, they usually just put them in boxes, but what you guys are going to do is you're going to try to make a container to keep your tea good. Yes. So your challenge is, can you design and create a crate that will keep your tea bag dry for the longest period of time in a tub of cold water?
Do we have a partner with it?
Yes, we're going to be in groups of, we're going to have 4 groups.
No? Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I meant groups of 3.
Oh, groups of 3. So, your challenges, I have a couple challenge rules, so let's listen up, and then I'll put them over there too so you can go look back at them. So, you must use only the supplies provided. So you're going to have 16 popsicle sticks, you're going to have some tin foil, 1 strip of tape, only 1 strip of yarn, or there's like a bunch of yarn back there. You're going to have scissors and glue, and then you're going to have your 1 tea bag. So, the crate must hold the tea bag inside of it. Your goal is to design and build a crate that will keep the tea bag dry for the longest period of time in a tub of cold water. Leakage will be determined by the water around the crate turning darker, and then the timer will stop. So when we put it in there, if it gets darker around the water, then that's when we'll stop the timer, because then you can see the tea coming out. So there are many different ways to complete this challenge, but you got to be creative. So you're going to have to work as groups and talk together, okay? So I'm going to put it up there, and we can go get our supplies, and we'll all work together.
How do you want to do partners?
Well, 2 of us can
Can you guys pick partners together?
Can we do it?
3. You can't do it. I can make a group for you.
We already have
How many do we have today? There's 16.
I think we guys are in the video. I went like this.
Okay, where are we?
Someone can
Oh, yep. Are you 3 together?
I guess Adam's coming with us. We only have
Okay, Phoenix. And Emma, you're together? Can one of you come here? Kira, who are you with?
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
These 3 can go
So
together.
then Maddie, can you come with these 2?
Yeah,
And Phoenix, with those 2?
So you guys can go through your supplies.
Do you want to be my human potato?
Sticks.
Fine.
Yep, 16.
Okay.
Oh, I hate that. We just got to stop. All right.
Hey, you guys are on the camera.
Yep. You've got your supplies.
You were already on.
Oh, you only get your 1 strip of tape. You can hold on to it.
Miss Schlegel, do you still want me to tape? Okay.
Grab all you guys 3 together. You're going to have to share the glue since there's only 2 bottles. Yep, go ahead.
Guys, this should be over here.
You got 16. I counted them out for you. Just grab your bunch. Yep.
Grab your materials and head out. Oh yeah, tinfoil. Tinfoil did it again. I'll come around with your tinfoil.
Yep. Alright guys, you're going to have 10 minutes. I'm going to start the timer right now.
Okay, Manny. Okay, I need to know.
gonna go with water.
You can use that too.
Yeah.
How would you use
We
it?
could glue the bottom of that. Yeah. We're gonna have that glue. Am I gonna start that? Yeah. Okay. First, shape it after a cup slash bowl. Whatever we can work with. Or we can try to make a cup or a bowl. Doesn't care. Like this. And then make it better.
This is what your tea bag is gonna look like, okay? It's gotta go inside of it.
Schlegel, do you think if this gets too big, it'll be hard to download? Like, should I stop it and start another one?
Stop it
And then have two? I'm just worried. I don't know how.
I probably don't need much more than this.
Well,